Our first guest tonight is an Emmy award-winning actor and writer. You know from shows like Ted Lasso and Shrinking. He co-wrote and stars in the new movie Office Romance, which premieres on Netflix June 5th. Let's take a look.
Good morning, young Balfour.
Good morning, Daniel. It's me, Jacqueline Cruz.
Miss Cruz, of course, your name came up. Thank God nobody stole your phone. What can I do for you?
Emergency board meeting. About Peter Vance at 8 a.m. I need you there.
Absolutely, I'll be there.
Great. Thank you. Okay. Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Please welcome back to the show our friend Brett Goldstein, everybody!
Very nice.
You know, I've long been impressed by you, but this is really something.
Yeah, this one's
You
big.
pulled it off, because
Yeah.
you're a really good writer, and you
Thank
finally
you.
figured out the smart thing to do is I'm gonna write a rom-com where it's me and Jennifer Lopez. Like
Yeah.
you did the thing that every writer dare not do, and you pulled it off.
Yeah, and I thought everyone did this, but no one does. So when Jennifer Lopez gets it, you're the first. So
Yeah.
It's a great plan.
It's amazing. You pulled off. This is like better than whatever those Ocean 11 jokers
Oh,
did.
Nothing.
This is a real heist.
Yeah, this is the real.
But
yeah.
you're a fan of rom-coms, and you wrote
Yes.
this with Joe Kelly, who's a old dear friend of mine. And how
Yes.
did this idea occur to you?
So Joe Kelly, who's one of the co-creators on Ted Lasso, he and I, when we were making Ted Lasso season 3, we were at Manchester City,
Yeah.
filming there, and on the train back to London, we were like, what should we do next? And we both love rom-coms, and we were like, let's do an old school rom-com. And we were like, who's the best person to do a rom-com with? And we both were like, J-Lo, obviously. And then we were like, all right. And then we came up with this idea on the train, and then we sent it to her with a note that said, we wrote this for you. You're at the top of our list. There's one name on this list. If you say no, we're not going to make it. Also, I'll kill you. And she, you know, a little encouragement with a little death threat. It works.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
You play a lawyer. She plays the CEO of an airline.
Yes.
This is also a novel role for her in a rom-com.
Yeah, because if you've seen all her rom-coms, which I have, she's always like low status and aspiring to something and sort of on the outskirts of things. And we wanted to do like a more grown-up one that I hadn't seen her do before. So she's the CEO in this one. Like, she has it all. And she's very good at her job. It was like a love letter to workaholics. That was what it was.
It's really, it is nice. Also, you mentioned you've seen all her films.
Yeah.
It turns out you're a huge fan of hers, and you've said it a lot on camera.
I didn't realize how often I thought once on my podcast I might have mentioned that I thought she was good. And then when we were making this film, every week a producer would come over, we'd be talking and someone would go, oh, they found another one. And there's like me on a red carpet going, isn't J-Lo brilliant? And I was like, shut up, I'm trying to be cool.
Do you think at some point when all this like footage of you like kind of being obsessed with her came out, she regretted?
Obsessed is a strong word.
No, I think it's the word you would use to describe the
Respectful.
behavior. Oh, respectful.
Respectful
That's
fan.
interesting. You've long established yourself as both a really intelligent writer, but you also have a very raunchy sense of humor.
Yes.
Were there scenes in this film that in the first draft were too hot for the final product?
Well,
Yeah.
I love this. You of all people.
I know more than anyone.
No, I love the C word.
And I love it so much, and I maybe love it the most when you say it, and I give you permission to say it one time right now.
Oh, I'm gonna hold on to it and use it.
Yeah,
I'll use it if I get one. I'm using it.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Don't waste it now. We're gonna be here for 2 segments,
Okay,
but at
go,
some
go, go,
point.
So in the original script, there's a long section, not an hour of the film. There's a bit about the C word and how Americans don't love it.
Yeah.
And we put it was in the first draft, and Jennifer agreed to do the film. Then we did a big rewrite of the film. We sent it back to her, and we'd cut the C word stuff because we thought she's probably not going to like that. And the only note we got back from her was, "Where the stuff?"
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, save it. You got to save it for the punchline. You got to save it for a punchline. I got a lot more to ask you. We'll be right back with more from Brett Goldstein. Welcome back to Late Night. We're here with Brett Goldstein. I imagine as a writer with integrity, you're trying to write the best movie, and then probably while you're writing it, you forget that you're going to actually have to do it at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Are there things you put in the movie, and then you're like, oh, right, I have to do it?
There is a dance scene.
Yeah.
And on the day of, I was like, oh, she's famously a very good dancer.
Yeah.
And so I was like, ah, and I made it. I was like, quick, the character's really bad at dancing.
You added a stage direction. Yeah, that's very, very wise.
Yeah.
There's a scene on an airplane with some turbulence.
Yes.
Is this something that has happened in your real life?
I was once alone on a plane. There were other people on the plane.
Yeah.
But I was not with them. That would have been
Yeah,
mad.
immediately no one had sympathy for you. They're like, you get what you deserve.
Yeah. No pilot, just me sat on an empty plane. No, I was on a plane once, and I've been in turbulence, but this was so bad that the pilot cut himself off halfway through the everything's okay. He sort of went, everything's okay, and then it cut off. And then I saw the air hostess lock herself in and pray, and I thought that's bad when they're praying.
Yeah, especially when they're praying and they know you can see them.
Yeah, facing us.
Yeah, didn't even go and hide and pray. Yeah.
She was like, every man for themselves. And then.
And how are you in those moments?
Well, honestly, what happened was, because there was a bit where it just sort of plummeted. It was probably 5 seconds, but it felt like a long time.
That's a lot.
And it just sort of proper noisy, everything's shaking. And I remember for half of it being like, and then suddenly something changed in my brain, and I went, come on then. And then it evened out, and I went, all right? Everyone all right?
Yeah, everybody on the plane was like, that's what it took. I want to congratulate you, even though it came at my personal expense. So we each root for London football clubs. I'll say football since you're here and I respect you. You're a Tottenham Hotspur
huge.
fan.
That's
I'm
huge.
It's from love. I'm a West Ham fan.
Oh man,
and
I'm so sorry.
it was crazy. We spent too much money to be in the position we were this year,
Yeah.
but you stayed up. Just barely, and my team went down to the lower division.
It was fully like a season finale of Ted Lasso for both of us.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Were you? Was this something that brought you great discomfort over the last few months?
Oh, it's been horrendous.
Yeah.
Being a football fan, especially for teams that we support,
Yeah.
is a form of self-harm.
Yeah.
I don't know what. It's just painful. And then the way we felt when we didn't get relegated was like we'd won the World Cup.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah. Like, come on then.
I will say I've had an interesting relationship with. I mean, this is I think the third time, if I'm right, since I've been a fan that West Ham's been relegated.
Right.
And I am at peace. I'm like, I need a year off. Like, I'm just like, you know what? This is great. I'm going to reconnect with my family. I don't need this hanging
find out
over
what
me
their
every
names
Saturday.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about World Cup? Are you excited? Will you go to
Very
matches?
excited. Well, I'm filming something while the World Cup is on, and I've never asked for before, but I have put in my rider that there be a monitor on set at all times playing the World Cup.
That's right.
So when you see this show, there might be takes where I go, and I really like, yes! It'll be like that.
You also, it's in your rider. They also have to use the take.
Yeah, of course.
We talked last time you were here. You got to interact with the Muppets and said it was the highlight of your life.
Yeah.
You did it again with the cast shrinking. Jason Segel, of course, no stranger to Muppets.
Yeah.
And how was it? Had the shine come off a little bit your second time?
It genuinely, first time I did Sesame Street was the best day of my life, and I was worried to go back.
Yeah.
But it was the best day of my life again. And,
Really?
yeah. And I did it with Jason, who loves it like I do. And me and Jason did a scene with Cookie Monster. And when we finished the scene, we were going to leave, and they said, "Oh, would you mind hanging out a minute? Just wanted you to say hello to your stand-ins." And they brought out Jason and Brett Muppets that they'd made. It was the best day of my life.
Congratulations on that accomplishment.
Pretty cool.
congrats on the film.
Thanks,
it's so
man.
lovely to have you back. We're happy you're here, and good luck to England in the World Cup.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Craig Goldstein, Office Romance premieres June 5th on Netflix. We'll be right back with David Sedaris.